The Suns have agreed on a blockbuster trade, sending Kevin Durant to the Rockets for Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the number 10 pick in this year's draft, and the 5 second-round picks. Sources told ESPN on Sunday. Durant was on stage Sunday at Fanatics Fest as the Javits Center in New York when the news of the trade agreement broke, shocking fans in attendance. KD on the move.
Anything can happen at Fanatics Fest, like me getting traded, but being a part of the Houston Rockets, I'm looking forward to it. Crazy last couple of weeks, but I'm glad it's over with.
And you knew before, right?
I had an idea, but I didn't know exactly when it was going to happen. You know, when people could just hang your career in the balance like that and just choose what they want to do with your career is a nerve-wracking feeling, but being able to kind of dictate what you want to do and then being with a team that values you, and I'm looking forward to it.
Did you have a hand in this?
Most definitely, yeah. I mean, they asked me where I wanted to go. Some of my destinations, I gave to them, and here we are.
How dangerous are the Rockets going to be now?
Won 50-plus games last year, played a great season. But all this stuff takes time and work and effort and execution, so we'll see what happens.
All right, great job by my girl Kay Adams there. All right, Chanae's in the building. Great to have you. How do we feel about the new studio?
Oh, I
Found
love
your way
it.
around. You're good?
Yeah, I like
Okay,
it.
good. That's what we
Hi,
like
friends.
to hear. Stephen A., what's your biggest takeaway from this blockbuster KD trade? He's a Houston Rocket.
Well, first of all, I'm ecstatic for Ime Udoka. He wanted this to happen. That's why this happened. Because I can tell you that Tillman Fertitta and others had their reservations, but Ime did not. And he wanted this, and so they believe in him. They believe in his vision, and they were going to do what he wanted them to do, and he wanted KD. That's number one. Number two, I think this elevates them to championship contention, to easily one of the Final Fours in the Western Conference, if not the entire NBA. Wouldn't surprise me at all if they were in the Western Conference Finals, to keep Van Vliet. Obviously, Amin Thompson, who's a future star in this league, wasn't going anywhere. Şengün wasn't going anywhere. Jabari Smith still being there. You kept your assets. I would have loved for them to keep Dillon Brooks because I think that the pest and the troublemaker that he is, your KD, you need a guy. I think a guy like that is great for you because he doesn't mind being the bad guy and stealing some of that attention away from KD, which KD would welcome. But I think ultimately what this comes down to is us being reminded of the greatness of the player that just got traded. This is a dude that's in his mid-30s whose numbers are better in his 30s than they were in his 20s. And in his 20s, he was averaging 27 on 48% shooting and 35+% shooting from three-point range. And his numbers in his 30s are better. That's who the hell KD is. And the one thing we looked at, Houston, in terms of what they were lacking, was a number one offensive option. When everything falls apart, get this person the ball and move the hell out the way. They got it now. His name is Kevin Durant, and he is no joke. The Houston Rockets, I'm telling you right now, they are instant title contenders.
No argument for me, you guys.
Where you
Houston.
from?
Yeah, I'm from the H, baby. It's a good day to be from the H. Okay, before you mentioned numbers, and you know I'm the numbers girl because men lie, women occasionally lie, numbers don't, right? So, yeah, you heard me correctly. Occasionally.
I like that.
Thank you. Period.
Ain't that
Before I get to the
I
numbers,
love that,
Ain't that
actually.
something? That is unreal. Well, go ahead. We're going to get
one
back to
word
that
to
another
describe
day.
this, it's trill. Do you know what trill is? You like barbecue, you like Tex-Mex, you like Nigerian food, you like jollof, you like egusi. We're going to Houston.
Okay.
Pack your bags. We're going to Houston next year because we're now box office. We're box office.
Okay.
I was really excited about what they did this year, but adding KD to me is everything. Now I know the 5 second rounders might give some people cause for pause. The number 10 pick might give people cause for pause.
second rounders.
No, I know, but I was like,
Nobody
oh my
stays by
gosh,
that.
you gave up so
Nobody
much. I was like,
stays by
no,
that.
actually, yeah, I agree. The numbers to me that matter. You talk about a few things, and I went and crunched them. He shot 49% on jumpers last year, best in the NBA. Do you know where the Rockets were in that category?
22nd.
27.
said
53.
22nd?
22nd in half-court offense.
Gotcha.
53% on mid-range. The Rockets were 24th in that category. If there is one player perfectly tailored to address, fix, heal all of the Rockets' needs, a team that was starved for offense in the postseason, their defense is already championship caliber. We always have found that teams that are top 2 in both offense and defense have a great shot of winning an NBA championship. Defense is already there. It's their offense that they had questions about. And the crazy thing is, I'm glad we're not worried about those second rounders and the picks. And I know Dillon Brooks and Jalen Green, that's really tough because they have a lot of potential and upside. But overall, you retain Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepard, who a lot of people thought would be attractive. My favorite player. You know how everyone has like favorite players? Amin Thompson.
That's my favorite. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's my favorite in Houston.
He is special. You protect that, and I think the Ime Udoka factor is huge as well. He had some synergy from the Brooklyn Nets days, knowing KD, and I do think when you lose Dillon Brooks, you still have Ime Udoka's identity, that defensive mindset that holds you accountable. I mean, one thing that made me a little uncomfortable at times, it's almost like he coaches so hard like he's playing. So he'll go out there and he'll talk to other team star players to back his team up. That is that dog mentality that stays with the team even though a couple players have parted. So for Houston, we don't have a problem. Actually, we're the opposite of a problem.
So last summer, the Rockets made it a very interesting trade, a trade we've never seen before. They traded some of the picks that they owned from the Nets back to Brooklyn, which cleared the way for them to tank, which they did this year. They got the 8th pick. And they got picks of the Suns. They got two picks and a swap. And as soon as that happened, people said, I think they're trying to get Kevin Durant. And all year long, the Rockets said, not really. We're not, we love Kevin Durant. But he's in his mid-30s. We got this team in the 20s. We're not really going for him. And some people thought, it's because they really want Devin Booker. I believed Rafael Stone when he said this. By the way, he said this publicly. He said it privately, too. He said it publicly because I believed that he wanted to have his young team grow. Mm-hmm. But something happened in the last few weeks. One, you're dead on. Ime Udoka, who had him in Brooklyn. Rael Ivy's on the staff. He was his teammate at Texas. He wanted him. He went to ownership and said, and front office and said, we can Kevin Durant and get him. The other thing was they couldn't say no to the price. The price was just so low, they just couldn't say no. It's meant to say, look what they still have on their roster. So they now have optionality. They can say, let's keep letting Amin Thompson develop. Let's keep letting Jabari Smith. By the way, Tari Eason, they love Tari Eason there. He could be the guy who replaces Dillon Brooks as that key defender. So now they can get Kevin Durant, get themselves better, and still have these pieces that they can keep or trade. So the Rockets, they had this happen because Kevin Durant controlled this process. Last winter, the Warriors were ready to trade for him. And he said, I don't want to go there. And they backed off. Last week, the Timberwolves were on the verge of trading for him.
Don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there. And Ant Edwards could have tried to talk him into it. He did not. He said, it's not my place. KD, you do what you do. And so the price came down, the Rockets moved in. That's how you elevate yourself as a team. You buy low, and you have a great opportunity.
I will say this, couple of things. Number one, I agree with Ant-Man's perspective on this. If somebody don't want to be there, you can't be trying to compel them to be there because it's a long season, it's a lot of sacrifice, and if you ain't happy where you at, then you're just inviting misery. So I applaud Ant-Man for taking that position. He wasn't wrong, number one. Number two, when you look at Jalen Green, we're not going to insult him, but I'll be damned if I'm not going to throw shade at that man.